Hey, my name is Jade, and I like to paint with pixels. And for today's video, we're going to be doing another drawing challenge, this time based on 3 random emojis. The drawing app we're going to be using is called Pixquare for the iPad, and the 3 emojis that got randomly generated for me was a ladybug, some sushi, and a lightning bolt. I'll be honest, this was a pretty low energy week for me, so I wanted to keep the overall composition and idea for this piece pretty simple. I immediately had an idea revolving around my little group of characters going to a sushi restaurant, so we got to sketching a small scene for that. It took a couple sketches to get something that I liked. I wanted to make a similar piece to my previous challenge video, where the gang are eating a giant stack of pancakes. With the emojis that we got, it felt pretty fitting to make another giant food drawing, especially since we got a ladybug again. It meant that the little bean that we created in that last drawing challenge could be in this illustration as well. Kind of like the gang is taking them on a little food tour. Similar to that piece, this canvas size is also 150 by 150 pixels. This is definitely one of my messier sketches, but I still found that splitting the sketch of the background and the characters into 2 colors helped a lot. At first I just started sketching in where I wanted the bigger objects, seeing what arrangement worked best for those. Once I started adding these, it then helped me think about how my characters would interact with the space as well. Maybe a couple of them could be working together to try and lift something with the chopsticks. Or they could be sat on the edge of the dish enjoying their own mini version of sushi. I really like the idea of one of them trying to roll a bit of sushi away for themselves. I tried a couple of options, but then it got to the point where I couldn't fit all of the ideas into one space. So between the 2 characters holding chopsticks or rolling the sushi, we chose the latter. The mini story behind it evolved into the sushi rolling away a bit too quick, and Fern losing control of it. So Lily, our frog character, has to quickly dodge out of the way. It's very silly, but I do enjoy how little stories like this can evolve as you play around with the bigger objects, even if normally they say don't play with your food. For the sushi fillings, I mainly stuck with a salmon theme. This was unintentional, but I was definitely hungry when I was drawing this, and salmon sushi was my favourite. Maybe I should have got some real sushi for, reference. But I did quite enjoy adding all the little details to the fish and the rice as well. For the lightning emoji, I wasn't sure at first how to incorporate it, but then I thought about it not just as a symbol in the emoji, but more like an electricity source. And then I thought neon lights would be a great addition for this. I'd actually been practicing neon lights for a different project with these little icons, trying to figure out the best way to render the light coming from the tube. I looked up some references on Unsplash and found that the center of the tube, where the light is brightest, is almost white in color, and then the actual color of the light immediately surrounds that. The outline tool was very useful for quickly outlining the more complex shapes. To do this in Pixquare, select the layer that you want to add the outline to, then click on the 3 dots in the top right of the screen and click Outline. Here you can choose the color of the outline, which side of the shape you want to be outlined, and any extra layers or frames that you want this effect to also be added to. For the neon effect, I found that adding a bright color around the white and then a much darker version of the same color as a second outline gave a pretty good neon effect, where it looks like the light has a sharp gradient in brightness. I probably could have came up with a more creative restaurant name than sushi, but it was a low energy day, so we rolled with what we had. No pun intended. I really wanted the neon lights to stand out, so I played around with the lighting a bit more in this piece. To do this, I added a new layer over the entire piece, changed the blend mode of the layer to be multiply, and filled it in with a dark green shadow. Then I erased the sections of the image that I wanted the light from the neon sign to hit it. I'm unsure if green was the right color for this. I mainly went with it because the brightest light source of the scene was also green. I've used this technique last year for another darker scene, around the Northern Lights, which I really liked. The combination of this overall shadow and the ones that are already there makes it feel like there's more than one light source, but the neon sign is the brightest. A lot of the time, the lighting in my pieces is quite balanced and also quite bright, so it's nice to play around with scenes that have a bit more dramatic or stronger light sources. Looking at it now, it could be really nice to overlay some sort of green hue on the areas that were erased to be brighter, so that it could look like it would be really affected by the neon light. But it's good to know for next time if I play with colourful lights. With a couple of adjustments, here is the final result. I do really like how this turned out. I think this one and the pancake piece from a month ago sort of create this nice series of giant food illustrations that I'd like to keep hopping back to. If I did make more of these, what food should I include in the next one? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like challenge videos, check out this video here, where my Discord server gives me word prompts for what to draw. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care out there. Goodbye!